open the Board of Public Works and Safety meeting this evening. Let's stand and pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, roll call please, Carol.
Mayor Sheets,
Present.
Greg Miller,
Present.
Megan Sheets,
Okay, first on the agenda, we have January 24th, 2022 regular meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the January 24th. Second.
Roll call please.
Mayor Sheets,
Aye.
Greg Miller,
Aye.
Megan Sheets,
Okay, and Carol brought the claims down to us this evening. Should I have a motion?
Sure, I'll also make a motion to approve the claims presented this evening.
Roll call please.
Mayor Sheets,
Aye.
Greg Miller,
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye. Okay, were there any public comments? Nothing, nobody here to speak. Okay, we'll move on then to the department reports. First up, Police Chief Scott Shoemaker.
I just turned everything on.
Just wanted you to hear how much I love you. Next thing is I need $2,000.
Why are we not surprised?
I had sent a quote for Frank's Police Department and Planet Scheduling Company. When we were at the police chiefs conference, we met with Terre Haute Police Department, and we'd always been talking about an app, scheduling app. We're still doing, paper, pen, pencil, making tons of copies. And I sent a couple different comments from our Cherry Keller and administration, and then Captain Sorrells about some of the things that we have to do for each employee when they take a day off. And also our schedules are hanging in the squad room. This feature will allow us to see who's working at all times, who's in charge, and then they can be contacted. The app also would take place of our communication tool that we've tried to find the right communication tool. We've tried I am responding and we used to have pagers back in the day, and then we went to cell phones, and now we've got the potential with this company to send immediate messaging to the entire department if there's an issue, whether some news that needs to be shared quicker, you can record. It could be my voice, it could be a something really bad were to happen, you'd actually do hear, we can record a message that way and get that information out. It also will allow shifts that are shorted. Rarely do we have that, but if sickness or something comes up, an emergency in someone's family, we immediately, each employee will have an opportunity to take that shift. And so you can't really, right now, we know our paper costs per year, we know our ink with our copier, but you don't really know the amount of time that goes into payroll and day off requests, and even trying to call, finding people, and we're usually calling individuals one at a time until we can find people to come in for emergency. So this way we'll be able to just send a mass message, or we're calling. It takes a place of who gets first chance at the overtime. Sometimes you call the people that's going to answer, and so it does appear sometimes the same people are getting overtime. But you call people that are going to answer. But this way, once you put it out, that officer will immediately be able to take that overtime and select that shift. So the price for each annual subscription was $2,285 for 50 licenses, and that will also, when at the end of every 2-week pay period, prepares our payroll for us. Charity will still have to transfer it to the cities. A version of how they want it, but that instead of having 10 people involved in preparing that, it's just automatically going. And another issue is everybody will see exactly what's in their payroll. So if there's extra comp time taken or personal time, or you'll see it right away. I mean, we won't find it in our quarterly audits. We've actually probably won't have to do, I usually have her go through everybody's time off, all 40 employees every 3 months to make sure that no one's, there's a lot of times where someone didn't get a holiday or got a holiday that didn't get removed from the book, and we catch that and we take it. And this way it'll be, everybody knows what they have. And also right now it's everybody's business. On this app, you'll get your information, nobody can see your overtime, your how much time you have off or why you're taking off and that kind of stuff. So we'd ask that the board allow us to try this for a year and then come back before we would ask for a renewal.
Just have a quick question or two. Have you checked, or one of you checked with payroll just to make sure that the report, as you will be submitting it, will be compatible with what their needs are?
I don't think it will be, no matter what it looks like, that it will be. We take all of our payroll every 2 weeks and put it into a longer document that this program would not be able to tap into that. But what it would do is, and just for example, shift captain will take those 14 people and go through and calculate all their overtime, their 28-day period overtime for time and a half, and put that into a spreadsheet. Then Cherry takes it and then puts it into another spreadsheet. We're just cutting all that out. So we'll save some time on our end. The mayor has said that the state board accounts may approve that we can show them what we're doing on an annual basis, because right now we call them yellow cards for our employees. So at the end of the payroll, and Cherry, once it's submitted to them, she has to take all that and then write it in pencil, or I think we've got a computer generated copy now. But I think the program will allow us to get the state board of accounts to approve our biweekly or annual for that individual employee. So if we're not having to, I would say there's 3 or 4 different processes that we're cutting out with this. But for them, for now, she'll have to take it. I don't think the end result will allow them to see. It's going to show their time worked every day and overtime, but I still think we have to put it in a sheet that they provided to us that we fill out. It should be pretty easy.
Approved format.
Still, like the document that you currently send over, something similar to that. It's not going to interface with our system, but you're just going to be able to get your information at the department level.
Yeah.
Easier.
Yeah, with so many different people do the payroll, if it occurs where it needs to be completed on as a holiday, people are coming in, the supervisors have to come in and get their shift's payroll done. Now they won't have to. Just really, from what we're seeing is just every day we'll put the schedule in for a year, and once you take somebody off, it'll show them 0 for that day, and it just keeps populating and gets turned in, and then we can run a report if we were to be audited for each employee. Where now we have to go through the filing cabinet, pull every individual 2 week. It's something I think the city could look at, and is a cheaper version, in my opinion, of like an ADP or others. Yeah, where those things are 6 figures a year. I think is what we saw at the county side of it. At least we can get it easier at the department level and still get it to payroll the way they want.
Thank you.
I'd entertain a motion if someone would like to make that, please.
I'll make a motion that we approve the Planet schedule as presented by Chief Shoemaker.
I'll second.
Roll call, please, Carol.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Thank you for that. We also have the parking contracts that the individual that may have been here tonight went ahead and signed his contract. So I have his,
That's what I was going to ask you.
so I don't know how less we need, I don't know if I have to read all these individually. But these are all the contracts for the West Clinton Street parking lot, North Columbia Street parking lot. I believe those are the only 2 parking lots.
So all of these that you have listed are the ones that you're asking for approval, is that correct?
Yes.
This is West Clinton Street and what?
West Clinton Street, North Columbia Street parking lot,
North Columbia.
Okay, thank you.
and I'm sorry, the North Jackson, the parking garage.
So he decided not to come to the meeting, okay. So the way that is, it's just a place for one person to sign up for the Board of Works. So can they just make a motion to approve those and give me authorization to sign? Okay,
I'll make the motion that we approve the packet of off-street parking contracts as presented this evening, giving Mayor Judy Sheets authority to sign each contract.
A second.
roll call please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Okay, Scott, if you wanna get those, but you wanna get those originals to me. Okay.
I don't know, I guess should we,
Do you
Once
keep
you
any
sign
as
it-
your,
I think Jay has a copy. We don't need the contracts, but I'm wondering if once you sign it, we should have him take a signed copy to the businesses.
I'll make sure he gets a signed copy.
Yeah, let's do that.
okay. Okay, is there anything else for us then?
Not tonight. No, we just, we did have our pension board election today. We have 5 new members, and I'll share that in an email. Once we counted those just a little bit ago, and so our hiring process will begin in March. Right now, we have, I think, 17 applications for potentially 3 police officers, so it's not
Not what we
Nobody's-
go for.
kicking the door in, no pun intended, to be a police officer right now, so we'll keep recruiting. We're recruiting. We're trying. Our focus is younger individuals from Clinton County, but we also, we're just trying to get them to, they want to be a police officer, but the problem is now you can't. It's hard. But we have a supportive administration now, and I think that a lot of the employees are telling them that, but they can change. So we're doing our groundwork, trying to find people to put in applications, and so that's where we're at. But I think we'll have the 2 openings here this summer.
When do you intend to test or to fill?
Now we have the new board. We're gonna meet and hopefully look at the first 2 weeks of March before spring break.
Okay. Sounds good.
We're gonna do something we've never done. We're gonna do the testing and interviews all in one day, just to speed the process up. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Scott. And thank you to the police department for all that they did during this snowstorm. I know it wasn't always easy for them, and I want to thank all the department heads as well. Outstanding job by everyone. Couldn't have made it through that snowstorm without everyone working together.
Continue weather reports included.
We'll do more weather reports. Hopefully no more snow.
Okay, I'll go for that one.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, fire department, Chief Stidham.
Good evening, everybody. I want to apologize. I know Josh met with you guys to hand out some stuff. I don't think it all got to Carol, so that's why I went ahead and gave you a packet. Some of it was left over. So I got several things to go over tonight, just to kind of get your guys' approval, and then we can move forward with that. We're looking at trying to update our engines at the fire department, and we want to get some new equipment for it. I talked to Les about the fans. Getting those fans purchased was pretty important for us to get done. Now, these are going to be battery operated equipment that we're looking at. The packets I did give out to you guys does have the what the quotes were. I've added the quotes to it, plus I also summarized everything on the front sheet, so you don't have to go through each sheet if you don't want to. But as you can see with the positive pressure fan, we only had 2 companies who provided the type of battery system that we needed for these positive pressure fans. So Donnelly Safety and Dingus Fire were the 2. Now we chose the Donnelly Safety for picking out the fans. So if you guys are good with that, I think we can move forward with making sure that we get those to the fire department.
should all be in the form of motion for these presentations. Yes, I'll make a motion that we approve the Connolly safety for the positive pressure fans.
A second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Good to go on the purchase.
Thank you, perfect. The next thing is to keep in line with those power type of fans, we're also going to utilize power equipment on the trucks themselves. So that would include a chainsaw, a cutoff saw, which is generally what you guys will hear a lot of people call a K12, reciprocating saw, and a lighting system that's all battery powered. This is just going to help us get a little bit more green on our trucks. We're not going to be using as much fossil fuels by having this equipment. Plus, they're going to be a little bit more reliable versus when it's 0 degrees out and we're pulling a chain for, minutes upon minutes. This one we're just going to be able to hit a button and they're going to go. So I did include those there. I've gotten 4 different companies that I had talked to, Kirby Risk, Home Depot, Gilman, and Dingus Fire. As you can see on that very front sheet there, I have them highlighted. There's 2 that says Rocket Tower lights. That is actual new lights. That is almost a 360-degree light system. We would like to purchase those. So what we have chosen, and you can see by the price themselves, Kirby Risk is a local company, and they are the cheapest, and they're going to be able to suffice everything that we're going to need, including that new lighting system. And these will all these power tools will actually get rid of all the other gas units that we have as far as a first line use on all of our first 3 responding engines that we have in the city. So I would like to see if we can get approval for ordering the Milwaukee tool system from Kirby Risk at $5,388.06.
I'll make a motion that we approve the Milwaukee toolkit purchased through Kirby Risk.
I'll second.
Roll call, please, Carol.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Okay, thank you, Matt.
Yes. All right, a few more, then I'll be done. To go along with this system, we have to order a conversion kit for the chainsaws. So it's very important for us in the fire service, so we have to have what we call rescue blades. That'll cut through asphalt without going dull very rapidly. So we have to buy the conversion kits for that that'll go along with these chainsaws. That is 3 conversion kits. As you can see, it says Superback Battery Chainsaw Conversion Kit. That'll be a total of $1,200. And that will outfit all 3 of the new saws that we're going to purchase.
Who is that purchased through?
Superback. Superback is the company. They are the only manufacturers of this conversion kit. There's no other company out there that makes this conversion kit. They're the same company, excuse me, I should go back. They are the exact same company that the positive pressure ventilation fans were made by. It's not the company we're ordering from, but the company it's made by. Their Superback is what the fans are.
I'll make a motion that we approve the Superback pricing for the chainsaw conversion kits.
A second.
Roll call, please, Carol.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Okay, move forward on this as well.
Perfect. Next thing is we've been looking at the budget and we've been talking about what are some of the needs of the fire department. And some of those are going to be the new thermal imaging cameras. We need new updated thermal imaging cameras to do our job more effectively. By doing that, we have been talking to different vendors. We've had different models come in. All of the employees or the members of the fire department have been able to look at these, test them out, see which one they like the best. We had chosen with the thermal imaging cameras to go with the Scott cameras. As you can see, we can get 4 of those cameras for $10,900, which is pretty outstanding as far as general cost of these things are usually $5,000 to $6,000 each. So I did list all 3 of them there, the Dingus Fire, MES, and 5 Alarm. We had chose to go with the MES one, the Scott thermal image camera V320. And just want to get your approval on purchasing those.
I think that was the information that I think Josh provided for us at the meeting that we had.
Yes.
I think each rep came in, put their product on the table, and I think didn't the membership also take a vote on what they approved for?
Yeah, we thought it was important to put them to a vote for the members. Instead of just me picking a unit and saying this is what we're going to get, it was more important for me to put it out there to the members who are actually going to be using it on a daily basis. So that was the unit that they picked, and it just so happened to be one of the cheapest ones that we had. So worked out well.
I'll make a motion that we accept the purchase of the Scott thermal imaging camera through MES.
I'll second.
Roll call please, Carol.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye. Approval as well.
2 more, and then I will be finished. I had Division Captain Sheets come to me towards the beginning of this year and ask if we could come up with a way to dry our gear more efficiently and effectively. Now, most of these units, if you would go out and purchase right now, they're probably $10,000 to $20,000 units. He has found a system online. We can generate it and build it ourselves. We've looked at the specs on it, and we have all the specs, which is what you have in front of you from Circle Supply, which is a local business that we did approach. We did talk to Gilman as well, but they didn't give us any type of a quote. There is a picture there towards the back that kind of shows what this gear dryer would look like. What I have is the quotes that are individual. So you have like the glove dryer is $19.26 to make, and the gear dryer is $120.23 to make. Now that's each. So what I had put together was if we can make 8 of those, we're looking at around $1,115.92. If we're looking at making 10 of these, it'd be $1,394.90. Now, the reason I broke it down into those 2 is because I need to make sure we have the adequate space to put 10 in. I would like to do 10 if we possibly can, but we're going to at least try for 8 for sure. So this is something that the members of the fire department are going to build themselves. We'll go out and purchase the materials, be able to bring them back to the station, and actually Division Captain Sheets, he'll kind of be heading this up and getting that all put together. So I'd like to see if we can get approval to do that. If we did it again, all in total with 10, we're looking at about $1,400. That's what it would look like.
That looks like that setup, that takes bunker pants, coat, and then gloves also.
Yep.
The way that
Yes.
looks like it's set up.
It is, and it's all set up by using a floor blower is what it is actually. So the floor blower is going to be about $150. You can hook it up to this piping, and it will run the air through this piping. Now, right now, if we have a fire today and we have to dry our gear, it takes somewhere between 24 to 36 hours for that to dry, just hang drying. All the specs that we've seen on this, these are going to take about 3 hours to dry our gear. And as we all know how expensive fire gear is, there's not a lot of people have a lot of good spare left over. So the quicker we can get this dried, the better off the members will be. So I would just like to see if we can approve and move forward with getting this gear drying system put together.
I'll make a motion that we approve the quote for the glove dryer and the gear dryer to be purchased from Circle Supply.
And I'll second.
Roll call please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye. Hey, that's pretty good. I like that. And everyone's gonna be working on it, to get
Yes.
it together, and
They will be. They've been working hard.
Chief, could I get those totals for the 8 and the 10 units again? I didn't get those copied up.
8?
Way.
So if we were going to build 8, it's going to be $1,115.92. And if we build 10, it'll be $1,394.90.
Thank you.
And the last thing I have is we have a stove at fire headquarters that is not functioning correctly. And it's going to cost close to $1,000 to $1,200 just to replace one stove. Now, if you've been to the fire station, there are 2 stoves, they match, they're identical, and they sit side by side each other. So what I have proposed tonight is we have been looking into actually buying more of a commercial unit to have at the fire station. The ones we have been purchasing over the years, again, for the entire time I've been there, which is almost 23 years, have just been your standard, you go to McCollum's or somewhere and you buy a stove and you bring it in. They just don't last. If you know anything about the fire service, we're hard on things. The fire service is very hard on items. So what we proposed to do was to look into commercial stoves. Now we can have commercial stoves delivered to the station. I do have those in there, your packets for you to look at. We've been looking at these stoves. They're 60-inch. They have a griddle on it. They have 2 ovens. They have 6 burners. So more than adequate for us to use at the fire station. We're looking at wanting to buy one of those. Right now we have 3 different types. You can see them there, the Icon, CFG, and Seagate. We're looking more towards the Seagate to purchase. I just want to get your guys' go ahead if we can, or if we can get your go ahead to look into purchasing possibly the Seagate sort of purchase.
That'll replace the 2.
That'll replace both of them.
Okay.
Well, I think it'd be a rather comparable price if you're considering replacing 2 plus the longevity of a commercial unit. And I think the department's very deserving of it as well. I'd like to make the motion that we approve the Seagate quote of $27.99.
I second the motion.
Roll call please, Carol.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Okay, move forward with that as well.
All right,
You're
perfect.
gonna be busy
Yes.
putting all these things together, but thank you.
No, thank you. A lot of legwork for a short amount of time.
Yeah, thank you.
We're getting there.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, street department, Jason Forsythe. And Jason, before you start, I'm gonna tell you, your crew, thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys did a fantastic job.
Welcome back. Welcome. Maybe he was back last time. I just named this. Is this your first one back? Welcome back. I just have a few reports for everyone. The council had given me the opportunity in my CIP to purchase a new 1-ton truck this year, like we've done the past couple of years. I started looking at bids for that and got some information that right now they're not even allowing us to submit anything to them with the chip situation. So we've kind of put that on hold. I am going to put everything together and have it available for 2 of the 3 people I talked to from Lebanon and over Lafayette called me back, but they said you can send it, but I don't know when we'll be able to order anything. So at some point in time,
Any hopes of when they want
that's,
you
I mean, that's
to?
just kind of why I was wanting to bring it to you. I know they didn't. I don't know, but obviously that may be a concern of ours as we approach the end of the year. I mean, obviously, if we get it ordered, it's no big deal when it comes in, but it is probably a 4-month wait time last time. That's before, that's once we ordered it, anything like that, until sometime in August or September. So I just wanted to let you guys know that was going on. The second thing I want to talk about is we had our pre-final walkthrough at Washington Avenue last week. I think it was first of last week, and had about 13 things that we went over, and I'll send you an email, let you guys know what those 13 were. I just got this information today in an email, so. But there were some sod issues at a couple different locations. There was some drainage issues, like there was some water standing. I think the day after, or the day before we went down, it rained pretty good, so there was some water standing in a couple of areas that they're up to take a look at. Jim was going to look at it and see what they could do there. It's not going to do anything with the road or anything like that. It's just something they're going to look at. There's a concrete break at Sims, at the apartments there at Sims in Washington Avenue that you're going to take care of. Some of these things, probably of the 13, probably 8 of them are weather related. So they obviously won't be able to do some of that until it warms back up a little bit. But we do have, like I said, 13 items on there that you're looking at fixing and getting that taken care of before we make any kind of signing that the job's fully complete, which is normal. So, and I said I'll forward these on so you guys can look at all that. Today I sent you guys an email and appreciate the mayor talking. I can't remember the guy's name right off the top of my head.
Have his card for you too,
But
Kevin Sears.
As you all know, obviously the 28 project, Clinton Street and that small section of Kinley in front of the Vintage Cafe is in bad shape. We were down there on Saturday with three massive potholes there at the intersection of Clinton Drive and Kinley and then right off 28. Obviously I contribute that. We've had some bad weather, but we also have probably triple the traffic and the semi-traffic that on that road that we're not used to. So I sent an email out, copied all of you, to Gary Fox, NDOT, EMD's representative, to see what kind of assistance we can get when the time is right. Obviously, we won't be able to do any kind of pavement work until it warms up, but I think it's good to let them know what we'd like them to do for us. We had that collapse right there in front of the American Legion on Clinton Street early on. And obviously Clinton Street is it's needing paved beforehand, so it's really needed after. So the whole idea is, when do we do it? What's the time frame with obviously the other side being done next year? So that's something we wanted to get out ahead of. Gary was really nice about his reply. He worked with us in the progress meeting. He's a good guy to work with. So the next progress meeting, we'll talk about that.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you for reaching out to me.
While we're on that topic of paving roads, I got an email from Chris Hensley back on February 8th about 4th Street between Walnut and Wabash. That's one of our roads that we're looking to pave on community crossings, and we're going to pave on community crossings that we've already been approved for.
Okay.
They are going to have a new, put in a new, install a new water main on 4th Street. So he had asked me, what kind of time frame we were looking at. They are estimating that they'll start sometime in June. So my thought process, just right now is, if we do any kind of paving before that, is that we can speak with Reith, and maybe Reith will hold off. If they happen to get the next bid, if we're lucky enough to get that bid, maybe they can do that when they return. But obviously, we're not going to pave it and have them cut it before it turned up in June. So we'll kind of work with that.
Okay.
I appreciate Chris letting us know he's going to do that. He had told me something's going wrong, but I didn't know until the other day. So hopefully, it'll work out and we'll get it done when we're supposed to. But just depends on the schedule is for that first go round. And the last thing I wanted to do is, if I could, is I have a part-time employee that I have going through the drug test right now. And with your approval, I'd like to hire that person. Once that drug test comes back, we should be on the next day or so.
So I think this is something we've been looking forward to, or you guys have been looking forward to, so I most definitely want to make a motion that we approve that hire should all the testing come back to your satisfaction. Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
And last, Don wanted me to mention it as well. We're all kind of both involved in the new possible subdivision at the intersection, or off the intersection of White and First Street. That Tony Del Rio is looking to put in. Liz has been putting together, trying to find out when everybody could all meet. So the reason I can obviously let you know what we're doing, but second of all, that is going to be on the same date, same time as our planning session on the 23rd at 10. So I don't know if you want one of us to maybe come down here, or if you want us to bypass the planning session and come down here, whatever you want to handle, just let us know. But that was one of the dates I told her I thought wasn't available, but I know she's trying to schedule everybody. She's got several people involved, so. But I think at least one of us needs to be.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
February 23rd, 10 a.m.
Our last planning session was down here, so I mean, if we have to move it or whatever, we can. But I think it's important also that one of you two or both of you are at that meeting with Liz on that subdivision.
That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Don Stock, Building Services.
Good evening, everybody. Not a lot going on, but not a lot to talk about. The permit report for the month of January of 2022, we started out with issuing 40 permits that month, 6 30-day electricals, 7 single duplex dwelling manufactured homes, more of a single dwelling homes of 7. That's going to go up. We just passed out, or not passed out, but gave 10 lot permits for the Riley subdivision that they can start on. So that'll be coming soon. Some commercial electrical accessories. Nothing of a lot going on, but several little things. Total revenue of $3,872.90. January 21 was $18,912, and 20 was $7,502. So I think that a lot of the challenges that we have in January was maybe more weather than anything else, but you always got to expect a little bit of a slowdown somewhere, and we're always glad to have it. We are looking at trying to scan and our building plans that we have. We have an estimated 12,400 some plans sitting not only upstairs but across the hallway that we're trying to see about getting scanned. We have one bid in. We're still looking to get a second one. We started on getting that done today so that we can report back to see about the possibility of scanning all of our plans. Riley subdivision is actually coming back to the BZA on Thursday this week for an alley. Their alley is 14 foot wide and the ordinance requires 20, so we're coming back to see if we can get a standard variance on that. And then the following week they'll be reporting to the Plan Commission for what we hope will be their record plot. Also today we sent a note out to both Patty and Les about getting ready for our 50/50 sidewalk contract coming up for this coming year. We're very thankful for the board looking after that program and putting in a few more dollars in that so that we can do some more sidewalks. We've got a thought process for that to try to get as much accomplished as possible. And if our plan fails, then we'll start to look at maybe putting in sidewalks where we don't have sidewalks to start getting prepared for things in the future. So that's what we have, our thoughts for the 50/50. Other than that, I want to thank Les. Les did a great job at helping us out and trying to get the record plot and all the information put together for the Riley subdivision. Probably went above and beyond the call of duty and what he did, but we're very, very thankful for his efforts. That's all.
Thank you, Don. It's not here. I've got here a couple times. Did you talk to him?
Yeah, he's
Oh, he's sick. Okay. I don't know. He
did not send in anything.
I wonder. We did get some information from Marty, but I think she said that was going to be on the 28th, correct? Okay. Community development, Kimberly.
Okay, so I just have a few updates. I did not get it in the packet, so I apologize. I brought it to you earlier today or earlier this evening. The open mic nights that were taking place last year at Prairie Creek Park, they were privately done, and I talked to Good Times Professional Audio that did it last year, and kind of weighed our options, and I would like this to be a city-sponsored event this year. So it would take place on the last Thursday of the month. I'd like to start in March, so trying to get people excited for some of our summer programs, and then run it through October depending on the weather. I did provide you with a contract from Good Times, their local sound company in downtown Frankfurt. They were, the price quote came in at $400 a month. So if you did that times 7, it would be $2,800, and this will be coming out of the RDC funds. So it would not be out of community development or parks department funds.
And you're anticipating a season of 7 months?
Yes.
If we're going from March to October.
Correct. And the reason I didn't go farther than that, I know that we have the Inside Event Center, but with November and December, that event center starts to fill up quickly, even during the weekdays with things, and then obviously Santa in December. So the reason I thought of March is March, April, so we could kind of start getting people excited for what's to come in Prairie Creek Park for the summer.
So who will take the lead on that? Who will make sure that everything's organized and?
Marty and myself.
Okay.
I met with Good Times, and last year they had about 50 to 60 people. They did run it from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m., and I would like to run it from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And it would be on a Thursday. And I can email you the dates that we have projected for this year.
Will there be a different form completed for approval, or is this being submitted what we go by?
This is the quote that he gave me. I can obviously come back to you with a contract if you would like to have that.
The only thing for me is it just says the price per open mic night, but it's not delineating this for a set number of months. It just seems to be too open-ended. I think if we
You have a March through October.
anticipate March, October, like it's a price per month.
Okay.
I think.
Absolutely. I can definitely do that.
And since we're sponsoring, we're good as far as insurance or anything like that, because we're hiring him, so, okay.
And then the other update is Hoosier Land TV with Casper Broadcasting would like to rebroadcast our YouTube channel from Board of Works meetings and City Council. We had talked about this in an email, I think it was November, December of last year, and so I just wanted to formally bring it to all 3 of you for approval to see if they can rebroadcast. So there won't be anybody in here with cameras or anything like that. They'll just take it strictly from our YouTube channel.
I think I got it. Yeah. We need to do a vote on that.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we allow Casper Broadcasting to put our YouTube meetings that are on YouTube to then be on their site as well for further public viewing.
For a second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
And then we talked about this at the planning session, and I've sent out a few emails, but the coffee and conversations is this Thursday from 2 to 4 p.m. And we're inviting everyone to join. That's all I have. Not a problem.
Thank you, Kimberly. Okay, let's go down. Attorney.
We have the landscaping bids for 2022. And the first one is from Warren Lawn and Landscape 8 of 2100 South State Road 39 in Frankfurt. It's got season-long mowing, season-long trim, weed, landscape bed maintenance, supply for herbicide and fertilizer, install 50 annual flowers, 1 gallon in spring, remove and install 50 mums for fall, bi-weekly visits to weed and trim, fall cleanup of grounds and landscape, irrigation startup and shutdown, which is billed separately, season-long fertilization, herbicide, and grub control for lawn. Invoices submitted monthly, April to November. There'd be 8 of them apparently. $750 times 8 is $6,000. Warren Lawn and Landscape, Inc. Second one is from Smith's Lawn Care LLC at 1653 North Mash Road, Frankfurt. And I can go through this pretty quickly. Mowing and trimming, removal of clippings from hard surface area, chemical spray, dry fertilizer, lawn treatments 5, grub control service provided by Lawn Tamer. Installing new spring annuals at gallon size, 50 pieces per specs. Land services, installing new or new fall annuals, removing spring summer annuals, gallon size, 50 pieces per specs. As to mulch, landscape bed preparation with bed edging, application where needed. Pre-emergent applied before application, installation of 1 to 2 inch mulch landscape beds and tree bases, trimming of shrubs. Weed control throughout season and landscape is needed. Our cleanups will give your property a head start on the growing season in the fall with clear leaves and breed from beds, followed by a final trim on perennial plants to give your landscape a head start for next year. Irrigation service, startup, backflow device test, shutdown, blowout service provided by Swan Irrigation. His total is $8,478. That's Smith's Lawn Care LLC. We ought to require, and I'll try to remember to put it in the bid notices, that they submit several copies so you can each have one. There are several of Smith's, but there's only one of Warren here. So you are going to take them under advisement or.
So do we want to take these under advisement? Do we want to go ahead and award the service?
So we only had the 2 bids. I'm very comfortable in providing a motion for warrants to have this year's bid for our lawn maintenance here at Old Stone.
A second.
I'll send it.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye. Okay, so Carol, do you want to, I'll sign that. And let him know that he was awarded that.
The only other thing I had, Mayor, I've been working with Don on the fire damaged structure that's left. I visit 850 South First Street, Don. So I have drafted a complaint to file in circuit court on that. Okay, get something done, injunctive relief, so that if they don't clean it up, the owners, the city can go on the property and do it. Attach lien.
And then we also talked about that North Jackson Street. That he was the board of works for the council, Mike Clausen.
Oh, yeah, I am privy to some of that, I guess, from the office. And there was a will contest, and it went into mediation. Apparently, that gentleman left 3 different wills, and it's been resolved. And my understanding is that property is going to be distributed and conveyed to a church.
Out by Walmart, the church out by Walmart.
Yeah. And they plan to do what is needed to bring it up to code and probably sell it.
And have you let Mr. Clausen know?
I have.
Okay, thank you. And thank you both for working on that.
That's all I had.
Did we want to do anything to table that, just not bring it up, the resolution? we just not even wanna entertain that tonight. The resolution 22-03.
I think, my suggestion would be to take it under advisement and, just a couple more meetings I think we want to have, and then, we'll be prepared to take action in our next meeting.
Okay,
Does that require any action on the part of the Board of Works?
we need to do it. Okay. Okay. And I'll get a hold of Jesse and let him know when we've decided on that. Okay, new business. We have some job descriptions that we need to make revisions to. We have the fire chief and the deputy chief's positions. And they are now gonna go from exempt to non-exempt. We've done some research on that. We've had HR help us with that as well. And it looks like according to, I think it's Department of Labor that sets that criteria for us. Fire department, if they are on a shift working, fighting fires, that type thing, they can become non-exempt. So I would like to ask the board if they would consider changing those two job descriptions from exempt to non-exempt.
I'll make a motion that we change the fire chief and assistant chief from exempt status to non-exempt status.
I will second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Okay, Matt, I think that should answer that question. After doing all of our research, I feel comfortable with doing that, so thank you. Did you want to talk about yours?
Sure, so the HR coordinator position has changed a bit since we went to an outside consulting agency. And the copy that you have in front of you outlines the changes in that job in red. And other than that, the effective date, I think, is the only other thing that would change. That's a non-exempt position and will continue to be so. So does anyone have any questions? Have you had time to look at that? It's really just fine tuning what's already being done in for further clarification.
Well, I know these are, this particular employee has been exemplary in performing her duties and is much appreciated by all. And she has already accepted these responsibilities and is doing them very well. So I would make a motion, we approve the clarification of this job description.
I second the motion.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Thank you. She will appreciate that, as do I.
We thank her for a job well done. We put a lot on her in these last few months. And
I will pass that
She
along.
has stepped up to the plate for this city. So are these the only conflict of interest?
Yes, I think we have 3 tonight.
Okay, we have 3 employees who have filed conflicts of interest with the city, and then also that will be filed with the state. Justin Spears, James Spears, and Carol Barley.
I'll make a motion that we accept the 3 conflict of interest statements as presented.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Okay. And just a reminder, if any of the departments has anybody that needs to file those, just have them get those into Carol so we can get those approved.
I am able to email you a copy if you need more copies if you don't have one already.
Does anyone have anything else?
I'll move adjourn.
Okay, thank you. Thank you everyone for coming this evening.
Yeah, good, you.